and we're always taking selfies, we're always watching TikToks, YouTubes, like we're always watching and looking at our faces and other people's faces and comparing them. So hey there, my handsome and pretty little cobras, and welcome back to the Cobra's Nest. For those of you who are new, my name is Mignon Cobra and I make minimalism videos. So today's minimalism video, oh, I should get my little Dior microphone. Been really into like pretending I have a microphone. Gives the illusion of professionalism. It's not really a microphone. Today's video is you are unique and that is your advantage. So this is something that has been a personal struggle of mine as somebody who has fallen down the rabbit hole of chasing pretty privilege like crazy. And then when I finally got my lip filler done, I finally found the end of the rabbit hole and I'm in a much better place, like a much healthier headspace. And I want to share that with you guys because I think the era of TikTok has made a lot of us really obsessed with our appearances. And like, I really don't blame this gen. I think we're constantly looking at our faces. We're constantly on Zoom. We're like video filming with each other. What is that? Like the thing with the iPhone where you like talk to each other. FaceTime? FaceTime. Yeah, I don't use mine. I primarily use my Android, and we're always taking selfies, we're always watching TikToks, YouTubes, like we're always watching and looking at our faces and other people's faces and comparing them. So I understand like this is a really new like struggle that the new gen has to deal with. Previous gens, and I think millennials were the last to taste this, we were not obsessed with our faces the way the new gen is. We also had more of an embrace of like unique features that I think the new gen is so punished. Like, you guys are not allowed to look different, and anyone and that looks different, like, why don't you just fix that? Why don't you fix your big nose? Why don't you fix your big ears? Your lips are too thin, your lips are too big, your eyes are too far apart. Like, my god, it's sickening. So if you have been struggling with loving yourself or looking unique or having unique features, this video is for you. So I got 4 things that I want to talk about because I hope that this could help somebody else out, because these were struggles that I had. Although I am a millennial and I am not Gen Z, I grew up very like digitally inclined, more so than my regular gen. Yeah, I was constantly looking at my face too, because like I had a digicam, like webcams. I love taking pictures, and I also grew up looking at magazines, and so I understand what it is like, and I'm going to share with you guys as your big sister who is now in her 30s and I don't have these type of struggles anymore. I want to share that with you guys. So if that is of interest to you, let's get into the video. Let's get it. Let's go. Woo! Okay, so coming in at number 1, your appearance is your advantage. And that's something I didn't really understand until I actually got this idea from Hamza. If you're wondering who Hamza is, he's kind of like a red pill content creator, like self-improvement. I think for my more extreme minimalist viewers who are male, you guys might have heard of him. If you're a woman, you might not have, maybe you have. And something that really resonated with me was a story he told. He said that when he started his YouTube journey in the beginning, he used to feel kind of self-conscious, especially because he lives in the UK. He felt really subconscious because he's not blonde blue-eyed. A lot of people in the UK are blonde blue-eyed, and he is Pakistani, and so he has like a darker complexion, and he felt really insecure because he felt like he didn't look like the hot boy. But then he had like a really good looking teacher in school who was also Pakistani, and all the girls, all his classmates were like swooning over him, and then he realized like it broke his like concept that only white men can be good looking, and he realized that like, no, like I can be hot too, like it's not a brown thing, like I could be hot too. So what does it have to do with you? So the thing that I'm trying to say is that there is beauty in every race. There's beauty in many different features. I think that colonization has definitely impacted people of color. I am of color. I know I don't really look it. I'm like white passing because like I'm European descent. I think like my great grandfather was like Spaniard from Spain. So I definitely have a lot more European blood in me than most typical Latinos. Latinos, we have the whole roster. We have like mulatas, which are like dark skin. Like we have every single type of race under the Latino sun. So what I'm trying to say is that like being a person of color, you definitely start to feel kind of like, oh, maybe I'm supposed to look like this, or I'm supposed to look like that, or there's only one standard of beauty. No. I think it is really important, especially a person of color, is to appreciate your own natural features, especially because of due to colonization, we are pushed this narrative, especially by Hollywood, that we need to look a certain kind of way, and if you don't look like that, you're not pretty. And I think that that's really damaging. And I think something to take into consideration, things that have helped me a lot too, is that like what may not be pretty or seen as pretty in your society is actually glorified in another society. And a good example I can give of that, and I have mentioned this in other videos, being tan is considered, you know, ideal in Western ideology. But I lived a big portion of my life in Asia. I think I lived in Asia for all of like between holidays and whatnot, over 5 years, half a decade I spent in Asia. Being pale was like the end all be all. And obviously it's toxic coming from that perspective as well. Like, you're dark skinned and now all of a sudden you live in a society where you have to be pale. My point being is these social ideologies are arbitrary, abstract. What's beautiful in one society is not in another. So it's like you kind of realize, what the hell is the point? You might as well just enjoy and embrace your own natural beauty. And I say this as somebody who has fallen down that rabbit hole. I definitely chased the rabbit. I was like, how much prettier could I be? How much easier could my life be? I was so obsessed to the point where I was considering, I was already entering the realm of like cosmetic addiction. I think for me, I got started with like, I mean, I've got like a lot of minor things done. I have like amazing teeth, all thanks to my mom. I had braces as a kid, so I had like a really intense like prescription. I had like I had 8, so I had LASIK eye surgery, so I wouldn't have to wear glasses anymore. Then, so at the beginning of this year, I got my lips done. I have 1 ml in my lips, and it's just kind of like, I started to realize I was like, I'm turning myself into a monster, and I'm just like not loving and accepting myself. And I think that that is extremely unhealthy, because that's going to take us into the next concept. So the second thing is, reject clone mentality. So I think that this is really obvious, especially with the original idea. I think it's like the Instagram face, or even the Hollywoodification of like actors and actresses. Cosmetic surgery used to be hush hush, and so we weren't really sure, or at least millennials were, we weren't sure what was natural and what was real, especially because they try to gaslight us and tell us like, oh, this is natural, oh, she just lost weight, oh, she just this and that, when like now we know it was just straight up just like plastic surgery. Like, why couldn't you have said that? Like, did you really have to gaslight a whole generation and tell us like, oh no, it was like, I just got sick, and when you got better, you got a nose job? Like, it isn't until like, I'd have to say like this gen celebrity, I actually have to applaud, like, be transparent. Like, I know a lot of this gen doesn't like that a lot of celebrities get so much plastic surgery, but at the very least, at least they're not, and I don't know if this is really a win, at least they're not gaslighting you, okay? Like, growing up as a millennial, they gaslighted the hell out of us. Everything was hush hush. You could speculate, but if you were ever asked them, oh no, I just got more rest, oh no, I've been going to the spa, oh, I've been like eating well, and that's how you ended up with like a Botoxed face. That's how you have like filler in your cheek. So reject clone mentality, because that is essentially the Instagram face. I think that's kind of getting a little bit more phased out, but I think it kind of sort of translate also to TikTok. You see like the same generic face like over and over and over again, and like I really don't think there's anything wrong with that. That prototype is a pretty face, full lips, it's very youthful, a small nose, big eyes, like that is a nice face. But I kind of want to bring to the table like that beauty standard is just a snapshot in our human history. Long noses and thin lips were the golden standard of Hollywood beauty. Like, these beauty trends are constantly changing, and I think that it's important to take into account that these clone mentalities isn't really doing you any good, because sometimes the next beauty trend comes from unique features. Full lips started as a beauty trend. There were a lot of the earlier stages. I want to say like Kim naturally has full lips. They were the beginning of an era where prior to that, thin lips were in. Before that, it was very like Paris Hilton, Olsen twins, thin lips, and then just like that, thin lips were out. We all wanted thick lips. When thick lips were not in at all, we used to think it like made you look like a fish. Like, that was not it. So when you are old enough, you kind of see these trends, and so you kind of realize that reject these clone mentality, like Instagram face, like filled to the brim with like filler. It's like, it's not doing you any favors. Honestly, it's giving uncanny valley. It's making you look bloated, it's making you look sick, it's making you look insecure. It's not healthy, and this is coming from somebody who's also touched her face. It's not healthy for you. A little tweak, a little natural enhancement, I think that's fine, but do not go overboard, because that's really not serving you. It's messing with your mental health. Okay, so coming in at number 3, happiness lies in acceptance. And so obviously, I want to fully disclaimer this. I didn't realize I was pretty until I made a pretty privilege video where I was talking about how, like, I, as a minimalist, for money reasons, I don't chase pretty privilege. And then I had all the comments going on and on and on about like, well, obviously you don't have to chase it, you're pretty, like, you don't have the right to say that. And then in that, I realized that I'm actually very pretty. So I want to fully disclaimer this by saying, like, I understand my privilege to stand here and say things like,
you should just love yourself, you should just accept yourself.
Because I want to say the next thing is, I did not feel pretty, okay? And I think a lot of us have seen this, where really hot girls, their faces just get all like up with surgery, and you're like, what happened? She used to be so pretty. And I don't want to obviously throw celebrities under the bus. There's definitely a lot of scrutiny, constantly looking at your face and constantly worrying, like, am I pretty enough? It's a cutthroat industry, being in media. You can think of a couple off the top of your head. I don't need to give you an example. So I want to tell you that the way you feel inside is the game changer. It's not up here. It's not in the face. And I know that because that was the struggle that I had. I felt like I wasn't enough. I felt like I wasn't pretty enough. I felt like I was only going to become pretty once I got my lips done. I was only going to become pretty once I lost the weight. I was only going to become pretty once I got my nose done. Like, it was just endless. It was just freaking endless. I was like, I need to fill in my wrinkles. I need to fill in, like, do you see these smile lines? I even went to the clinic to, like, get a consultation to fill it in with, like, face filler. And, like, don't get me wrong, I understand that as we age, we definitely want to preserve our beauty, especially in a very looksism society. But happiness starts from the inside. Loving yourself is the first step. And I kind of want to give that advice because let's use my nose. I have not touched my nose. My nose is my natural nose. This big old bitty of a nose kind of come to the place where I'm like, you know what? Like, it's kind of nice. It balances my features out really nicely. I have huge features. I have very thick brows. I have massive eyes. I have big lips now, and I have a very angular jaw. And it just kind of occurred to me that if I shaved my nose, I'd probably have like a slit in my face, just like little nostril, little nostril. It wouldn't suit my face at all. And I'm just like, you're going to go from looking kind of decent to looking really uncanny. Stop touching your face, Nat. And I kind of got to the place where I realized, like, happiness starts from the inside. Monks always say that, like, the happiness you're seeking on the outside, you're not going to find it on the outside. You're not going to find it in your beauty. You're not going to find it in external validation, like everybody commenting on your Instagram and your TikTok and your YouTube being like,
Oh my god, babe, like, you're so hot, like, you're so hot.
you need to find that from you. You need to get that from the inside. And I think sometimes it's like, sometimes some hot chicks are kind of odd looking, but they think they're the shit and they walk like they're the shit. And that makes us think they're the shit. And there's also a lot of very pretty girls who feel really insecure on the inside, and then they start doing this, that, and the third to the face. And then you're kind of like, they almost create like a self-fulfilling prophecy. You didn't think you looked good, and then you messed with a good thing, and now you really are not pretty anymore. And obviously, I'm not trying to be superficial. The point that I'm trying to drive home is that, like, happiness comes from the inside. I sometimes look in the mirror and I think I have, like, dark thoughts still. But the thing is, the thing that has really pushed me away from that is like, you know what? I would love to just love myself. And I have made videos on this recently. Happiness starts with the inside. Like, a happy woman is a woman who likes herself. A woman who says, hey, you know what? Like, I think I look good. I don't need the world to validate me. It's okay if this, that, look like this and look like that. Something that's also really helped my mental health a lot is, like, looking at women of Persian descent. Like, I'm Latino and I have really strong Persian features. And so when I look at, like, Persian influencers, I see their beauty and everyone exalting their beauty. And I'm like, yeah, me too. Yeah, me too. I got thick brows. I have that same type of strong nose. I have thick lashes. I mean, a lot of Persians also get their lips done. So I'm right in there with them. And I see their beauty and it makes me appreciate my own beauty. So that's a tip I could also give. Maybe monitor the content you're consuming. If you're constantly looking at content creators who look nothing like you, this might be a wake-up call for you to edit and curate the people that you are following. If none of the people that you follow look like you, this should be sending warning bells off in your head. You need to fix that. You need to start looking at content creators who are killing it that look like you. Now, they don't need to look exactly like you, and this is probably going, with clone mentality from the previous point, but you'll find a lot of peace and a lot of happiness in just kind of enjoying what you naturally look like, because you know what? You're unique, and that's your advantage. Nobody else looks like you. Why don't you just enjoy being, so-and-so? Because there's literally nobody else like you. Okay, and then coming in at point number 4, and I always love to add this point because I'm open-minded, and I think it's always good to play devil's advocate. I'm not always one to just be like, no, just black and white. Point number 4 is change it if you must. You might discover what you're looking for on the other side of fear. And this is actually a Buddhistic principle. What you seek is on the other side of fear. Sometimes we just need to do it for ourselves, for our own self-satisfaction. I got my lips done. My parents were definitely not about it. And I was going to get my nose done as well too. And in getting my lips done, I kind of realized, I was like, you know what, I'm good. I'm okay. I'm actually okay. Like, I'm good. And I don't want to touch my nose either. Like, I'm going to enjoy having this unique feature because it makes me unique. And that's why I want to say, like, change it if you must. Not saying that anybody else needs to do this. I'm not advocating for you to get LASIK eye surgery. I'm not advocating for you to get your lips done. And if you need to get your nose done, then so be it. And all the other cosmetic surgeries under the sun. I just hope that you can understand that it may fix, maybe for a moment, some of the things you may be feeling. But if you don't address the internal we're not going to be any happier. So I think maybe getting these things done might kind of help fix what you feel on the outside, and it could fix how you feel on the inside. But unless you do the shadow work on the inside, you're not going to fix what's on the inside. So change it if you must, because honestly, at the end of the day, no one needs to suffer with an appearance that they don't want. But you might discover on the other side of that there was nothing wrong in the first place. So I hope that you could have enjoyed this little ranty video, that you are unique and that is your life advantage, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.